Yeah. 1, 2. 1, 2. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 841 days ago, the inaugural event of the Rotax Max Euro Trophy got underway at this very circuit. We've had over the last 196 races that have been competed in 6 different nations. We've had 36 different pole sitters from 12 different nationalities, 7 different champions from 6 nations, and there is one driver that has successfully defended a title over the past 2 seasons. 70 different race winners, comprising of 16 different nations, and 69 drivers on the podium, with 14 different nationalities represented. It has been a long 167 days since the conclusion of the Rotax Max Challenge Winter Cup at Karting Campillos 167 days ago. But over the next 48 hours, we will have 7 different qualifying sessions, a total of 34 different races, comprising of over 377 minutes of racing action. As they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder, but things come to those that wait. After a long hiatus, the Rotax Max Euro Trophy steps back into action amidst the fantastic Friday afternoon Belgian sunshine here in the Limburg region, as the home of champions kickstarts fully our 3rd season. We welcome returning champions, returning faces, and we also welcome new ones. And for those watching across the globe, we bid you welcome. In about a minute's time, we get underway with our first of 7 5-minute qualification sessions, as we welcome Minimax to the Rotax Max Euro Trophy in its 3rd season, having introduced Micromax back at the Winter Cup in Karting Campillos. Over 130 different drivers from around nearly 20 different nationalities are here to battle, here to fight, here to entertain those that are not here with us, unfortunately, as this is a closed-door event. No spectators allowed on site, with the current world in a state of flux amidst the current pandemic. But we are here to entertain you, and we hope you enjoy the show. We will also celebrate our 200th race at 11 o'clock local time tomorrow morning, bringing in Senior Rotax Heat 1, Groups A and B. But now it is time to decide our respective grids for tomorrow's action, which gets underway at 10 o'clock local time. Local time now 4:30 here in Belgium. The green flag waves as we get our first of 7 qualifying sessions underway, and our youngest competitors out of the Rotax racing family, Micromax, make their long-awaited return. 5 minutes on the clock, 1,360 metres of prime Belgian asphalt. As we have in this particular category, 9 different drivers from what are 4 different nationalities here, amidst the fantastic Belgian sunshine. It is actually quite hot under the collar, but the action on the circuit will up that significantly over the next couple of days. So we have the likes of Max Sadursky, Mies Huben, Jake Menton, Dragos Aveselkutai from Austria, Niklas Casarino from Germany, Boris Maximov, Dean Hugendorn, Scott Marsh from Great Britain, and Zdenek Babishek from the Czech Republic. First banker lap starting to be put in, and Max Sadursky will set the initial time of a 1:02.488, followed quickly by GKS Lemons Powers, Mies Huben. And the thing is that as these qualifying sessions get more and more intense for the drivers, there is a lot to consider. The physical exertion, the mental exertion, keeping hydrated. And these drivers, along with their machinery, are going to be in for a tough time here, as it is going to hit over 30 plus degrees all the way through the next couple of days. So Max Siderski leads the timesheets on the 1 minute 2.488. He's now coming through turn number 9. Mies Huben following in the number 19's wake. Number 28, he's currently in a 1 minute 2.954. Boris Maximov a 1 minute 3.4 flat. And the top 5, which are rounded out by Jake Menton, who recently scored a second place in one of the races at the B&L Karting Series that hosted its opening round 1 week ago. And again, the time starts to tumble. We go into the sub-62 second bracket with Max Siderski and Mies Huben, all within 71 thousandths of a second of each other. So at the moment is now Scott Marsh from Great Britain with Dan Holland Racing now jumps to the top of the timesheets on 1 minute 1.768. Max Siderski a 1 minute 1.907. Mies Huben the third out of the top 3 that make it under 62 seconds. After that you've got Maximov, Babishek, Menton, Hugendorn, Avasil Kutai and Casarino, all separated by 1.679 seconds, but the top 8 separated by less than 7 tenths. Just under 2 minutes to go in this session. And this will be the, we will see who will be the pole sitter for this particular occasion. I've got a welcome stash of statistics that I've managed to gather over the past 2+ years of having joined the Euro Trophy back when it inaugurated back in April 2018. And to see the championship flourish as it has done, as Max Siderski goes quicker than anybody, a 1 minute 1.625. Scott Marsh, a 1 minute 1.642. The top 2 separated by 17 thousandths. So already we've got the first sort of real test of who's going to get pole position. And as you can then see, for those watching on the screens at home, Dean Hugendorn doing a little bit of slipstreaming there, going down into turn 7. So Siderski, let's see if he improves. He did a 24.866 in Sector 1. Scott Marsh was quicker in both Sector 1 and Sector 2. Not by much though, around about a combined 1/10 of a second as Siderski goes in and puts in 1 minute 1.607. Scott Marsh will shortly cross the line. Let's see if the Brit improves. And he goes quicker by over 2 tenths. 1 minute 1.392. There's Jake Menton going through turns 4 and 5. He's currently running out the top 6 on a 1 minute 2.360. So this will be the last hurrah for these Micromax competitors in terms of who will get provisional pole position. All sessions are provisional pending official sporting and technical regulations post-session, as they are called. So checker flag will now wave, first of all for Max Siderski, who's now coming through in towards turn 12 as Jake Menton makes his way through to the left at turn 11. Checker flag now waves the first of 7 5-minute qualifying sessions. Max Siderski, let's see if he gets anywhere close to Scott Marsh. Not quite on that lap time, a 1 minute 1.665. Mies Huben provisionally takes 3rd ahead of Jake Menton, who jumps up to 4th. Avasil Kutai from Austria goes 8th place. Scott Marsh didn't really need to do much there, and there's a little bit of a fist bump there from Niklas Casarino, who rounds out the 9 strong. A 1 minute 2.562, but it is Great Britain's Scott Marsh from Dan Holland Racing, the 47, that takes provisional pole for Micromax in time qualifying. 1 minute 1.392. Siderski in second, 1 minute 1.607. Then it is Mies Huben running at the top 3 on 1 minute 1.906 out of Jake Menton. Boris Maximov, Dean Hugendorn making it a sweep for the Dutch from 2nd to 6th position. 0.876 off of the pole time set by Scott Marsh there. Zdenek Babishek in 7th on a 1 minute 2.383. Dragos Avasil Kutai from Austria. Best lap from the Austrian is a 1 minute 2.651. And rounding out the 9 strong, Germany's Niklas Casarino from Mies Racing, a 1 minute 2.562. All drivers separated by just under 1.2 seconds. So next up, we will welcome our Minimax competitors for the very first time. So it'll be a new category. Obviously, with Rotax racing, if anyone's been to the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals, something that I witnessed with my very own eyes for the very first time at Sarno in Italy in the later part of October, the chaotic carnival of colour. And what is even more interesting is that the tickets that we have up for grabs for the respective categories this season. We are still on the cusp of doing a 4-round calendar. So we will head to Wackersdorf between the 4th and 6th of September, where we will have, instead of Micromax and Minimax, we will have the Deutsche Elektro-Kartmeisterschaft, the DEKM, and also a debut on our side of things from Rotax, having them actually compete alongside Junior, Senior, DD2 and DD2 Masters. Then we will head to Adria International Raceway between the 23rd to the 25th of October, and then rounding the season off will be Karting Campos, which hosted the Winter Cup, where we saw 200 drivers representing nearly 30 different nationalities. They will host our last round between the 6th to the 8th of November. We have tickets for the International Trophy, which has been rescheduled to the 8th to the 13th of December at the Portimao circuit, Cartodromo Internacional do Algarve. I hope my pronunciation is right on that one. But then the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals, which were set to take place at the Bahrain International Karting Circuit, are also going to be held at Portimao, and it will be the 23rd to the 30th of January 2021. We have 9 tickets for the grand finals to give away, and that will be for the 4 mainstay classes that have been with us since our inauguration on the 20th of April 2018. 3 tickets will go to the top 3 on the podium for Junior Rotax. Then we'll have the same for Senior Rotax, the champion and vice champion in DD2, and also the DD2 Masters champion. But there's a little bit of a caveat here, because for every weekend winner, and that will be here at Genk, at Adria and Campos, the winner of the weekend for each of the Micro and the Minimax classes will gain their place, an entry ticket to the International Trophy at Portimao. So we have around about 5.5 minutes to go until our second of 7 qualifying sessions here this afternoon. Local temperature is around 34 degrees Celsius. Didn't quite expect that when I came over this week. But of course it just shows that summer is here. So we are pleased to be back. We always love coming back here to Genk. It's a fantastic circuit. We do also have to give our thoughts and prayers with our friends over in Lebanon, reference the recent tragedy as well. We also have to say that we look forward to welcoming some of the Lebanese contingent, hopefully, to race with us, obviously, depending on the current situation, and our thoughts and prayers are with those that have been directly affected with the tragedy over there, so our thoughts are with them at this time. We also have to say happy birthday to a particular driver that's a mainstay within ABB Formula E and also the DTM, Robin Freins, who's also very well known around here in case through his karting career, so happy birthday to him. So a lot of things have happened over the past few weeks. You know, motorsport has been up and running. This is a closed-door event. There are no spectators on site. Everyone is required mandatorily to wear a face mask at all times, and that does include me in the commentary box. So I will be wearing a mask all the way through. Obviously, we are having to go through a stringent set of regulations as a result of the current situation. So just a repeat to the paddock, please make sure that you are wearing your face masks properly. That is everywhere, in your tents, in the paddock. So please make sure that you are covering your nose and your mouth correctly. We also have to thank the team here at Karting Genk for allowing us to host this event, as well as the local municipality and the mayor to do so as well, and hence why these stringent restrictions have come into place. For those wondering about the schedule tomorrow, well, we have quite a few races. We'll have our warm-up starting at around about 8:30 tomorrow morning before we get the first of the heats underway. There are 53 drivers in Senior Rotax. Again, as always, our most heavily subscribed category. And the returning champion is back with us as well. Good to see Matilda Olsson. Had a quick chat with her and her dad earlier on today. Good to see so many familiar faces. Good to see so many new ones. And I know for a fact that we always get great action from all of the categories. And for those wondering that how many races have we done so far? 196. So we hit our double centenary at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning with Senior Rotax, Heat 1, A and Groups A and B. The senior qualifying practice, they have been selected into their groups in respective, it's done by an electronic lottery, so it is effectively like randomly pulling a number out of the hat and telling you which group you're in. So we will have 27 drivers in Group 1 qualification, which will take place at 5:15 this afternoon, and then 15 minutes later Group 2 will be in action with 26 competitors. So just under a minute and a half until we get Minimax out on the circuit. They'll be waiting in the pre-grid. And very soon they will have the green flag waved to signal them to go out for their session. And as we have seen before over the past 2 seasons with the Euro Trophy, is that sometimes qualification does not necessarily mandate where you are going to end up at the end of the weekend. And as we say in the United Kingdom, it's times are for show, points are to go. And there is going to be a lot of great action. The majority of it is going to be taking place tomorrow, starting from 10 a.m. local time. And our last heat, which will be race 21 of the meeting, will be DD2 Masters. Heat number 3, starting at 6:05 p.m. local time. And then with regards to finals day, we will have the second chance heat for Senior Rotax at 10 a.m. And then we'll get the first of our respective finals underway, 12 in total, which will start with Micromax at 10:50 in the morning. And they will kick-start the afternoon's action tomorrow. So green flag waves for Minimax qualifying here at the home of champions. Drivers now starting to make their way onto the circuit. So there is a familiar face in this who was actually Micromax at the Winter Cup. Matej Radenkovic from Bouvin Power representing Belgium. Then we've got Thiemen Huben, we've got Vic Stevens, Mathis Soubadou from France, Jasper Leynertz, Karel Stout, Reno Franco, Tam Saleh from Germany, and then we got Vidmar Aljaz from the Sport Still AKK crew, Boluet who's also from Belgium, and the multiple Tony kart chassis in this. So we've got Xpree, Kart Republic, Sodi Kart, Intrepid, amongst others. So Matej Radenkovic and Thiemen Huben will be the ones that will set the initial benchmark after just a minute and 10 seconds completed. Huben goes top at the moment at 1 minute, 1:788. Then it's Radenkovic, then it's Soubadou from France. Stevens, Loet, who gets passed by Aljaz in the 1:26. So again, the times will considerably drop. For those wondering about Minimax, they will probably get ever so closer to less than 59 seconds. I have seen that before in Minimax competition around here. So So Radenkovic and Huben making their way down into the right-hand sweeper at turn 10. So Radenkovic and Huben cross the line, and they both go sub 60, 59.750 for Huben. Radenkovic goes 12 thousandths of a second slower, as Rino Franco from GKS Lemons Power, representing the Netherlands in the 106, goes quicker by nearly half a second, 0.456, puts in a 59.250 on that particular occasion. Top 9 separated by just over 9/10. Matisse Soubadou is rounding out the 10 competitors out on the circuit. The sole driver running on the Sodicart chassis. So drivers now on their third lap of qualifying. Let's see how Radenkovic and the like get closer and closer. And as I say that, Rino Franco goes to within 1/1000th of a second of the best lap time set by the 106 just a lap ago, a 59.251. Radenkovic now takes up the mantle of second position with a 59.507. Huben, third place, top 7 now, sub 60 seconds. Aljaz in the 126, rounding out the top 7 positions. Jasper Leenerts from Belgium, who signed earlier on this year to join GKS Lemons Power, now rounds out the top 6. So Radenkovic goes slightly quicker on that particular lap, a 59.454, gets the gap down to Franco, down to about just over 0.2 of a second. Franco puts in a 59.4 on that particular lap, so doesn't improve, but there's still a bit of breathing space. .20 seconds on the clock remaining, or thereof, as the timer fast counts away. And probably by the time that Radenkovic gets through possibly the entrance into turn 11, the timer, or out of turn 11, timer hits 0, checker flag being prepared. Going to wave to complete the session. Let's see if Radenkovic has got something a bit more in the tank. And does not improve on that lap time, goes second. Huben, fourth. Franco goes even quicker, a 59.144 from the Dutch driver. Pamsteller from Germany takes P3. So Fernand Franco from the Netherlands, the 106 from GKS Lemons Power, takes provisional pole with a 59.144.310 ahead of Boovin Power's Matej Radenkovic in the 196. Pamsteller makes it 3 different nationalities in the top 3. 0.405 off of pole, ahead of Thiemann Huben. Karel Stout takes P5 ahead of Vidmar Aljaz in the 126. And Aljaz actually set exactly the same lap time as Vic Stevens from Dames Racing. However, Aljaz set the lap time first, so gets the benefit of the doubt. Bolouet and Jasper Leenerts ran out the top 9 ahead of Matisse Soubadou from France. And the top 9 covered by just over 0.77 of a second. So that is Minimax qualification completed. And in just over 8 minutes' time, Junior Rotax will be out on the circuit. And along with the Senior Rotax contingent, the juniors never fail to excite and captivate those normally that would be sitting in the spectator stands with us, but those watching at home will be able to see the action firsthand. all over this afternoon and the next couple of days. So some other Euro Trophy statistics for those watching at home. Out of the different pole sitters, the country that has secured the most fastest laps in time qualifying, whether it be on aggregate or otherwise, is Poland with a total of 9. The two most successful drivers in that, according to all the information that I've collated, is Oli Pilka, who moves up to senior Rotax this season, and our inaugural DD2 Masters champion, Sławomir Morański, in the 561. Out of the total champions, 2 titles went back to the same nation in successive seasons. Junior Rotax had Mike van Vugt taking both titles. In senior Rotax, Hannes Morin from Sweden was our inaugural champion, and in 2019, on the penultimate final of the season, Matilda Olsson then took the title back to Sweden. Mike van Vugt is the only driver to successfully defend a title. Out of the different race winners, the country with the highest amount of race wins, whether it be heats, second chance heats or finals, is Belgium with 32. And according to the records, Mike van Vugt is the most successful driver in terms of taking race victories with 17. The Netherlands have been the highest represented nation on the 3 steps of the podium, wherever we've raced, whether it be at Genk, Christianstad, Broek en de Leitha, Wackersdorf, Adria and Campillos, with 18. And Mike van Vugt again has done a bit of a Schumacher here in just 2 short seasons. I did see him last week, as he has also made the transition to senior Rotax for 2020. Now, with regards to senior Rotax, just a little bit of housekeeping for those watching at home. Out of the 53 drivers that are with us here this weekend, the top 30, following intermediate classification as of tomorrow night, will go through to the 2 finals. However, 23 drivers will battle for 6 spots on the 2 finals. So some will have their weekend curtailed a little bit early as of Sunday morning. But then the 6 that make it through, once all the official results have been ratified and confirmed, they will then go onto the tail end of that grid. And as per Rotax Max Euro Trophy sporting regulations, what happens is that in the first final, your grid is set as per your intermediate qualification spot, or whether you make it through the second chance league. The second final for senior Rotax, the second final for any race, will be decided by the results of the previous final. For those new to the Rotax Max Euro Trophy, if you are watching at home, if you do want to find out further information about the championship, please head to our official website, Rotax Max Challenge-Eurotrophy.com. You can also connect with us on social media at Rotax Max Euro Trophy on Instagram, and also Rotax Max Euro Trophy on Facebook. And earlier on this morning, we had to celebrate something very, very special indeed. A big thank you to everyone that has liked the Facebook page so far, as we have now hit over 2,000 likes on our Facebook page, and we cannot appreciate enough the support that everyone who is a part of this paddock, past, present, or maybe even future, to have a look at what Rotax racing is all about. So 2 sessions down, 5 more to go. And next up will be Junior Rotax itself. So just over a minute and a half before the Junior Rotax grid takes to the 1,360 metre circuit here at Karting Genk, the home of champions, which has seen so many illustrious names come and compete on this very tarmac here. And it has brought about some of the great names in motorsport, past, present, and also future. Drivers like 2009 Formula One World Champion and 2018 Super GT 500 champion Jenson Button. Current Porsche Formula E driver and multi-time WEC race winner and champion and Le Mans 24-hour winner André Lotterer. Then you've also got Laurent and Dries van Toor. You've also got Max Verstappen amongst others. Beitske Visser has also competed at this very circuit, if memory serves me correctly, and many others. The list is as long as probably both my arms put together, but it is a circuit that has provided us. And also, a big thank you to the team here at Karting Genk. You might notice that the curbing has been repainted ahead of this weekend. A fantastic job by everybody that has volunteered and done so. And Dave Ritson, yes, I did see it. I saw it when you posted it on Facebook someone posted on Facebook the other day. I don't think I didn't see it. I was waiting for you to give me a nod. But we now get into our third qualifying session here at Karting Genk. Junior Rotax now getting onto the circuit. So we have the likes of Tim and Nick Gerhard, a pair of twin brothers running for SP Motorsport. Giuseppe Forenzi for Italy. Mikkel Pedersen, Bruno Mulders, who's just recently shown a new helmet design, which is very, very good indeed. Very, very colourful, and I think that could actually glow in the dark as well. Farin Mega from Germany. Austin Lee, Gilles Clouet, Mackenzie Creswell, Kian Agasade, Valentin Klus, Janis Diek, Thomas Martins, Eliska Babikova, Marcus Lutzio, Carol Schultz from France, Kai Gielertz, who has really started to come of age in Junior Rotax over the past season and a bit. Max Knappen, Will McIntyre, Colin Van Lammeren and Petra Babikova. So plenty of different nationalities in this particular class as the times now start to come in, and they are starting to tumble with around 3 minutes and 40 seconds still to go. Valentin Klus and Janis Diak go up into 4th and 5th respectively. They're both running with RS Competition and Kraft Motorsport. And there are the two twin brothers, Tim and Nick Gerhardt. They were racing in the B&L karting series last year, and Tim took the Minimax title. They both went up into Junior Rotax this season. And they have also been competing in the B&L karting series this season too. Kai Helets goes third. Lukas Schoenmakers, how can I forget that name? He's been with the Euro Trophy since I don't know how long, probably right from the very beginning. The JJ Racing driver goes behind teammates Kai Helets in fourth position. Bruno Molders rounds out the top five as Tim Gerhards goes first. And 55.635 Farin Mega from Germany from Kartschmied.de on the Mach 1 chassis. Goes second by just 5 1/1000ths. Bruno Molders rounds out the top three, ahead of Ferenzi from Italy. Nick Gerhards from the Netherlands, ahead of Austin Lee, Mackenzie Cresswell, Janis Diak, Mikkel Pedersen and Kian Agasade from Germany, rounding out the top 10, all covered by just under 5.5 of a second. We're past the halfway point of this qualifying session. Eliska Babikova from the Czech Republic goes top by over 2.5 of a second, and then gets pipped by 1 1/1000th by Great Britain's Will McIntyre, running with the Sodi Vitesse crew. 55.235 from Will McIntyre on the 289. Helets still running out the top three. Tim Gerhards now responds and goes dead level on times, a 55.235 on that particular occasion. So 23 runners and riders. Nikita Genzer apparently has got, is trying to set a lap time now, so the 2:26 on the Sodi Kart chassis representing Germany will now set another lap time very, very soon. So Babikova, that's Eliska Babikova goes back to the top of the timesheets by over 1/10 of a second of 55.127. Kai Helets now goes top, followed by Will McIntyre, the two separated by just 62 thousandths. So Helets from McIntyre, Schoenmakers, Eliska Babikova, Tim Gerhards, Thomas Martins. Make that Tim Gerhards goes up into P3. Farin Mega up to 6. Bruno Molders and Mikkel Pedersen rounding out the top 11 positions. Mackenzie Cresswell has a little bit more time needing to be found. Valentin Klus goes 10th on a 55.421, and we have got one kart that is now unfortunately forlorn off of turn number 7. Yellow flags being waved. The driver now is safe and sound. Helix goes top and goes sub 55 in the process, a 54.990.058 of a second ahead of Eliska Babikova. Will McIntyre, Tim Gerhards and Lukas Schoenmakers round out the top 5, followed by Marcus Lutzio, Farin Mega in 7th. Thomas Martins, Colin Van Lammeren and Valentin Klus complete the top 10. Bruno Molders just a fraction out of the top 10 by about 32 thousandths of a second. Nick Gerhards running down in 15th position at the minute. Mackenzie Cresswell as the checker flag waves. Gilles Clouet 19th. Janis Diak 22nd. Valentin Klus will remain in 10th position as the flood of junior Rotax karts will come across the start-finish line, having exited turn number 12. So Eliska Babikova does not improve, but stays P2 for the minute. Helix now crossing the line. 55.021. Will McIntyre goes up to second on the last lap. 10 thousandths behind Kai Helix, so 55 seconds dead on the nose. Babikova, Eliska Babikova in third place. Tim Gerhards will not be able to get up any higher than P4. Lukas Schoenmakers rounds out the top 5. Marcus Lutzio makes it 2 Brits in the top 6 positions ahead of Belgium's Thomas Martins. Farin Mega from Germany in 8th place ahead of Colin Van Lammeren and Petra Babikova. Giuseppe Ferenzi, who is running at the top of the time, towards the top times in this session, rounding out the top 17. Nikita Genzer, I think, might be the one that's had the problems off of turn 7. Not too sure, but I'll wait for the recovery vehicle to bring them around. But Kai Helix takes provisional pole in junior Rotax ahead of Will McIntyre from Great Britain. Eliska Babikova from the Czech Republic rounds out the top 3, covered by just 58 thousandths of a second. A further half a tenth back to Tim Gerhards in 4th. Lukas Schoenmakers rounds out the top 5, 0.133 off of Helix. Marcus Lutzio just under 2.5 tenths of a second down in 6th place ahead of Thomas Martins from Belgium. Farin Mega, Colin Van Lammeren, Petra Babikova rounding out the top 10. Valentin Plus in 11th, ahead of Bruno Molders from the Netherlands. Karel Schultz from France, Nick Gerhards from the Netherlands, and Mikkel Pedersen from Denmark round out the top 15 places, covered by just 0.497 seconds. Giuseppe Forenzi will be behind Max Knappen, provisionally speaking, who with the Dutch driver in the 2:48 16th. Mackenzie Cresswell 18th. Gilles Chloé, Austin Lee rounding out the top 20 ahead of Germany's Kian Agassade and Janis Diak, with Nikita Genza ending up 23rd without having set a possible potential lap time there. But the 22 of those 23 drivers covered by 0.929 seconds after an impressive 5-minute qualification session. But now the ante really goes up another level, as very shortly we will have our first group of senior Rotax drivers heading out on the circuit. So 53 drivers in Senior Rotax set to get their qualifying sessions underway. 27 in the first group, 26 in the second. And effectively 15 from each group will end up, from a cumulative perspective, ending up in the top 30 qualified drivers after their races tomorrow. And Senior Rotax, we had 10 heats back at Karting Campos. We have 6 here at Karting Genk. And it is incredibly competitive every single time Senior Rotax goes into battle. And this weekend is proving that it's going to be no exception here. So in about 5 minutes' time, Senior Rotax Group 1 will be out for qualifying. So about a minute and a half until we get the first half of the 53 competitors from Senior Rotax out on circuit. 5 minutes is not a long time to get a hot lap down, but if you can put I wouldn't call it the perfect lap, but the best lap you possibly can, because every single driver is out there to do their level best, to get themselves up as far the order as possible, especially when it comes to the intermediate classification at the end of Saturday evening. So a whole host of talents from so many different countries, including Portugal, Sweden, Poland, the United Arab Emirates, the Netherlands, Great Britain, Spain, Germany, amongst others. And the first 27 going out on the circuit will provide a bit of a benchmark for Group 2. Because it is, all the results are effectively put together. And then we find out who takes the top time in time qualifying for Senior Rotax. And then they will be split into 4 different groups, set to go into battle, with the first of 6 heats taking place at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Green flag waves for the grid. And they quickly surge out of the pre-grid, heading out onto the circuit. So drivers will be using the slipstream as much as humanly possible. They'll be jockeying for position. So we have just under 4 minutes of this session remaining. First driver to cross the line from the UAE will be Lachlan Robinson from KR Sport. The others, including Guilherme de Oliveira from Portugal, Linus Hensen from Germany, Anthony Boulou from France, Leander Luc Schneider from Germany, Jori van der Eyck from the Netherlands, the defending and reigning champion Matilda Olsson from Sweden, Drake Janssen, Reese Hunter, Bart de Wit, James Johnson, Ollie Pilker. And the driver that is leading the way, who started off as a junior Rotax driver in this very championship, Mads Ries, who's made the switch to Dams Racing for 2020 and has now gone to the top of the timesheets in the initial phase, with 3 minutes and 10 seconds still to go of this qualifying session, as there are a trio of KR Sport livery carts coming across the line. Robinson will cross first, goes top. The Oliveira goes third, as Anthony Boulou from PKS Competition takes P3. But that is quickly changed thanks to Matilda Olsson from Sweden. 54.332 from the 300. Reese Hunter from Great Britain now takes second position with around about 2 minutes 40 to go on the clock. Lachlan Robinson from the UAE rounds out the top 4 positions as Mads Ries now springs up into P3. Yashram Jankan now goes up into 17th position. And the times, they are a-changing. Lewis Gilbert with Potenza Racing Engines representing Great Britain and also Scotland, of course, in the 329 goes P5. Jules Castro, who was a junior last year, now up into senior and is ahead of Ollie Pilker, who won the junior Rotax class of the Rotax Max Challenge Winter Cup, but still is able to use his full season pass for seniors this year. 2 minutes on the clock to go. Lachlan Robinson closes to within 80 thousandths of a second off of Matilda Olsson. Reese Hunter, the 333 from Dan Holland Racing, goes up into P3. Mads Ries and Storm Brouwer from SP Motorsport representing the Netherlands goes P5. And The top 25 drivers out of the 26 in this session covered by just 0.783 of a second. So the cat and mouse game that is Senior Rotax well and truly underway in qualification. Lachlan Robinson goes in with a 55.440, just 28 thousandths off of the previous lap time. So at the minute, with just under 60 seconds on the clock, top 10 is as follows. Matilda Olsson, Lachlan Robinson, Lewis Gilbert, Rhys Hunter, Mads Rhys, Storm Brouwer, Jules Castro, Guilherme de Oliveira, Ollie Pilker, and from Great Britain, Teddy Clinton. Top 10 covered by 0.336 seconds. There's a few more of the drivers. Now we've had one kart come to a standstill coming out of turn 9, waits for the rest of the field to start flying by. And that looks to be Mads Rhys there from Denmark. As one of the SP Motorsport karts nearly comes across him going into turn 10. Drivers will now, if they don't cross the line very, very shortly, time's up, checker flag waves, and the first one to cross the line to take the checker flag is Ollie Pilker, running with SP Motorsport on the Kart Republic chassis. Mads Rhys takes 5th, Teddy Clinton provisionally takes 10th, Charlie Turner from the United Kingdom down in 16th position. 0.421 off of the time set by Matilda Olsson, who's yet to complete a final flying lap. So let's see if the Swede can push up the ante a little bit further in this particular session. More drivers now coming through turn 10, which includes Jordi van der Eyck. He's being followed by countryman Sven Rudenberg from the Netherlands. Linus Hensen crosses the line, 19th quickest. Leander Luc Schneider, 23rd. Jordi van der Eyck and Sven Rudenberg round out the top 25. Lewis Gilbert goes P3 on a 54.445. Jules Castro 7th. Pilker 9th. Luna Blum in 12th position. So the drivers now making their way into the pits. Matilda Olsson from Sweden from Strawberry Racing takes the top time in this particular session with a 54.332. Ahead of the UAE's Lachlan Robinson from KR Sport, who is just 80 thousandths of a second adrift. Lewis Gilbert from Potenza Racing Engines rounds out the top 3, a further 33 thousandths of a second adrift. And it was just between him and Rhys Hunter, 7 thousandths of a second, with Hunter taking 4th place. Ahead of Mads Rhys, Storm Brouwer, Jules Castro, Guilherme de Oliveira, Ollie Pilker, Teddy Clinton running out the top 10, all covered by 0.336 of a second. James Johnson in 11th place ahead of the Netherlands' Luna Blum in the 319 from JJ Racing. PKS Competitions Anthony Bellew from France in 13th ahead of Kraft Motorsport's Lukas Hartmann from Germany, with Felix Jansson from Dan Holland Racing representing Sweden completing the top 15. Charlie Turner in 16th, Yashram Jankan in 17th ahead of Kilian Tarnier from Dames Racing in the 344 representing France. Linus Hensen and Spain's Philip Vava from KR Sport round out the top 20. Beer Dorestein from Redeka Motorsport and Bart de Wit round out the top 22 positions, followed by Leander Luc Schneider, Jordi van der Eyck, Sven Rudenberg and Dirk Jansen from the Netherlands. So that was 26 drivers there. And very, very shortly, we will have our second group of senior Rotax drivers set to take to the track for their 5-minute qualification session. So the green flag waves for our second group of senior Rotax qualifiers here at the opening round of the 2020 Rotax Max Euro Trophy season, spanning the next 3 months, 4 different countries including this one. As the majority of the grid make their way out onto the circuit and start jockeying for position. So in this particular group we have the likes of Dylan LaHaye, Luca Leistra, Elia Galvan, Maurice Schuring, Max Stemerding, Fabian Bock, Flint Schuring, Zombor Kovac, Mario Sidler, Andreas Hebel, Sean Butcher, who was our runner-up at the Winter Cup back in late February, Robin Knudson, Felix Varget, Carol Kret. We also got the likes of Manel Gallo-Fritona, Christophe Capitan, Kai Hunter, brother to Reese, Artur Horsch, Bradley Barrett, Teresa Babikova, Vincent France, amongst others. So the first benchmarks have come in. Elia Galvanin from KSB Racing Team, representing Italy in the 376, is on provisional pole at the moment, but 13 thousandths of a second slower is Bouvin Powers. Luca Leistra in the 399. Vincent France, Dylan LaHaye, and Maurice Schuring ran out the top 5, all covered by just over 0.2 of a second. Just over 3 minutes on the clock to go. As now we will see the 399 of Luca Leistra go provisional top of this session of 54.454. Galvanin improves, but Sean Butcher from Great Britain from KR Sport in the 349 goes top by just 24 thousandths of a second from Leistra. Lars Zanin up into 9th past Max Demerdink. As Kai Hunter from Dan Holland Racing in the number 395 goes 4th, as Vincent France from Germany up into 3rd place. Then Teresa Babikova in the 363 goes 4th and sets exactly the same lap time as Vincent France from Germany, but on the benefit that Vincent France set that lap time first, the 357 from JJ Racing gets the benefit of the doubt. And the top 21 out of the top the 23 competitors covered by just under 9.5 of a second. Dylan LaHaye up into 8th. Elia Galvanin improves on time but does not improve on position. But has Emily de Hoys from the Netherlands just 1/1000th of a second slower. So fast approaching. 90 seconds on the clock remaining. Kai Hunter goes P3. 54.538. And we've just seen that Sean Butcher was just on a 21.985, setting the same first sector time as Vincent France on this particular lap. And then goes to 16.263 on sector number 2. Drivers trying to improve their times. Not quite happening at the moment, with 60 seconds remaining on the clock. It is anyone's guess who is going to be quickest in this session. But when you are jockeying for position, that can cost you that ultra important 10th or half a tenth of a second in order for you to progress up the order in qualification. Teresa Babikova does not improve on that particular occasion. 30 thousandths slower than her fastest lap time. 54.554 at the moment, which puts the Czech driver in the 363 in 4th place in this group. But as soon as the session started counting down, it's quickly gone past in an instant. Luca Leistra does not improve on that lap, but has another one possibly in the bag. So may have the possible upper hand on Sean Butcher, but the timer runs to 0. Lars Zanin takes 15th. Christophe Capitan all the way down in 23rd position. Kai Hunter P3. Emily de Hoys 7th. Arthur Horsch in 13th place. Vincent France from Germany, P5. But it looks like Sean Butcher has taken the top time in this session and look to be very, very close indeed to the efforts of one Matilda Olsson from Sweden. So Leistra crosses the line, doesn't improve, stays P2. Maurice Schuring down in 17th, ahead of Switzerland's Mario Sidler. Robin Knudson and Felix Varget from Belgium ran out the top 20. Bradley Barrett goes P9, but Sean Butcher in that session secures the fastest time of a 54.430, ahead of Belgium's Luca Leistra, with Kai Hunter making it 2 Brits in the top 3. Teresa Babikova from the Czech Republic and Germany's Vincent France rounds out the top 5. All covered by 0.138 of a second. Then it is Italy's Elia Galvanin, Emily de Hoys from the Netherlands, Dylan LaHaye from Belgium, Great Britain's Bradley Barrett, and Hungary's Zsombor Kovács rounding out the top 10. Max Demerdink, Andreas Hebel, Arthur Horsch, Karl Kret, Lars Zanin, Manel Galofretona, Maurice Schuring, Mario Sidler, Robin Knudson, Felix Varget, Fabian Bock, Flint Schuring, and Christophe Capitan rounding out the 23 strong, with the top 22 covered by just under 9.5 tenths of a second. 5 qualifying sessions down, 2 still to go. Next up at 5:45, it's DD2.